Within seconds, the roar of an A-10 Warthog fills the air. Its GAU-8 cannon unleashes approximately 260 rounds, obliterating the target before it can vanish. This strike caught Houthi threats by surprise, and by half, within weeks, marking a decisive shift in the region's balance. After a 3-year hiatus, the A-10 has returned to the Middle East in its largest deployment in years. What gives it this edge? Let's dive in. But to understand why the Warthog is so effective, we first need to examine the threat it was sent to counter. Dust swirls as a flatbed truck, barely distinguishable from its rugged surroundings, rolls out of a concealed mountain cave. On its back, a C-802 missile launcher shrouded in camouflage tilts upward. Within moments, the missile ignites and rockets into the sky, vanishing over the horizon. Before the trail of smoke has dissipated, the launcher retreats back into its hidden position. This is the hallmark of Houthi guerrilla tactics: mobile, precise, and elusive. Houthi forces rely on shoot and scoot tactics to maintain their advantage. They launch missiles from concealed and remote locations, then escape before retaliation can occur. These operations are orchestrated to minimize detection, making traditional military countermeasures largely ineffective. The terrain of Houthi-controlled territories in Yemen, a mix of jagged mountains, desert landscapes, and urban centers, compounds this challenge. Launchers are hidden in a labyrinth of caves, roadways, and tunnels, keeping them virtually invisible until it's too late. Striking these teams, especially without accurate real-time data, is notoriously difficult. What makes these tactics even more formidable is the influx of external expertise. Iranian IRGC advisors use Starlink terminals to feed live coordinates, making each launch smarter and faster. This access to real-time satellite communication allows missile teams to rapidly adjust their strategies, improve their mobility, and share critical intelligence. The combination of strategic guidance from IRGC advisors and advanced communications transforms what might otherwise be rudimentary operations into a coordinated and persistent threat. The C-802 missile system is central to the Houthi arsenal. The C-802 carries a 165-kilogram armor-piercing warhead to ranges up to 180 kilometers. While not the most advanced missile in modern warfare, its effectiveness is amplified by frequent use and the element of surprise. These missiles can target vessels passing through key shipping lanes and infrastructure inland. Designed to penetrate armored targets, the C-802 poses a threat not only to commercial vessels, but also to naval ships in fortified positions. When paired with shoot-and-scoot tactics, the C-802 delivers swift, unexpected strikes with limited opportunities for preemptive defense. The threat extends far beyond the immediate area of launch. Houthi-controlled regions overlook critical maritime routes, and each missile launch puts shipping lanes and regional trade at risk. Disruptions to these routes have broad implications, affecting commercial shipping, regional navies, and the economies that depend on safe passage. The psychological toll on sailors and shipping operators forced to navigate these waters under constant threat is significant. Missile teams can reposition quickly. A launcher, once fired, is folded, loaded back onto a vehicle, and relocated within minutes. Networks of tunnels and caves lead to new firing points, making tracking their movements a constant challenge. With the added advantage of real-time guidance from IRGC advisors, these mobile teams become even more elusive and dangerous. Conventional counters often miss these fleeting targets, leaving regional stability at constant risk. In this environment, a platform with the right mix of firepower, agility, and endurance becomes essential. The A-10 Warthog stands out immediately for its singular purpose and unmistakable profile. Its straight wings and twin engines are not designed for speed, but for control and survivability in hostile environments. Every element of its construction is tailored to close air support, making it a dedicated asset for ground attack missions. Unlike multi-role jets, the A-10 is built around a single mission, delivering overwhelming firepower precisely where ground forces need it. Its large wings and high aspect ratio give it remarkable maneuverability at low speeds, allowing pilots to fly beneath cloud cover and navigate mountainous terrain where threats often hide. The aircraft's ability to operate under 1,000-foot ceilings and in low visibility conditions means it remains effective even when weather or geography hampers other platforms. Extended loiter time over the battlefield ensures the Warthog can remain on station, ready to respond as targets emerge and disappear. Survivability is at the core of the A-10's design. The cockpit is encased in a 1,200-pound titanium bathtub, angled to deflect incoming fire and protect the pilot from ground-based threats. This armor, along with reinforced flight control systems and self-sealing fuel cells insulated with anti-explosion foam, allows the aircraft to absorb damage and continue operating. These features are not theoretical. They have repeatedly enabled damaged Warthogs to return to base after sustaining hits that would down other aircraft. The defining feature of the A-10 is the GAU-8 Avenger, a 30mm hydraulically driven Gatling-type autocannon that runs nearly the length of the aircraft's underside. This 7-barrel system, weighing over 4,000 pounds with its ammunition drum, fires high-explosive incendiary and armor-piercing depleted uranium rounds at a rate of up to 3,900 rounds per minute. In combat, pilots dial in a 2-second burst, about 260 rounds, to maximize destruction without melting the barrels. Each round is designed to penetrate armored vehicles, bunkers, and fortified positions. The spent casings are cycled back into the drum, maintaining the aircraft's balance and ensuring consistent handling, even during extended engagements. The Warthog's secondary weapons are chosen for mission flexibility. It also carries sidewinders for air threats and a tailored mix of rockets or bombs for varying ground targets. This adaptability allows the A-10 to engage a wide range of targets, from mobile missile launchers to hardened structures, with the appropriate ordnance for each scenario. The aircraft's operational flexibility extends to its ability to launch from austere locations and forward operating bases. Its rugged landing gear and low-pressure tires enable it to operate from rough, unprepared surfaces close to the front lines. This proximity allows A-10s to respond rapidly to emerging threats, reducing the time between target identification and engagement. The A-10's effectiveness against mobile missile threats is a product of both its firepower and its ability to remain on station for extended periods. Mobile launchers, often concealed in caves or hidden under camouflage, require persistent surveillance and precise engagement. The Warthog's slow flight characteristics and long endurance strip away the advantages of stealth and mobility that such systems rely on. It can systematically search, identify, and neutralize targets that evade faster, higher-flying aircraft. Durability remains a constant advantage. The A-10's armored protection and redundant systems allow it to withstand small arms fire, anti-aircraft artillery, and debris from explosions. Even after sustaining visible damage, it can continue to execute attack runs and return safely. This resilience, combined with the precision and volume of fire delivered by the GAU-8A, ensures that once a target is identified, it is not merely suppressed, but often destroyed outright. The impact of A-10 operations is measurable. In recent missions against Houthi missile teams, the Warthog has demonstrated its ability to eliminate elusive targets and reduce the frequency of successful enemy launches. Its presence changes the calculus for adversaries who rely on concealment and rapid movement. Identifying and striking these mobile threats, however, demands more than firepower and endurance. The next layer of the A-10's effectiveness lies in its advanced targeting capabilities, which enable pilots to detect and engage hidden launchers with precision. Miles above the battlefield, an A-10 pilot relies on the AN/AAQ-28L ITENING targeting pod to search for threats concealed in the landscape, from rocky ridges to hidden caves. In these environments, traditional visual scans are often ineffective, but the Lightning Pod's advanced sensors provide a decisive advantage. High-resolution forward-looking infrared flyer sensors detect even faint heat signatures, such as an engine idling beneath camouflage netting or a vehicle emerging from cover. The pod's laser designator and CCTV camera further enhance identification, allowing pilots to spot man-sized targets at ranges up to 28 miles. The pod's suite of technologies is specifically designed to counter the tactics of mobile missile teams. Houthi launchers, for example, are painted to match their surroundings and are frequently hidden in caves or among dense terrain. Their operators exploit every feature of the landscape, relocating rapidly to avoid detection. The Lightning Pod's sensors can penetrate visual obstructions and register subtle changes in heat, revealing vehicles or equipment that would otherwise remain invisible. During the first confirmed strike of the current campaign, lightning sensors tracked a launcher rolling from a cave, enabling the Warthog to zero in within seconds. The pod's ability to capture and relay these details in real time turns fleeting opportunities into successful engagements. Beyond detection, the Lightning Pod gives A-10 pilots autonomy to adapt to rapidly shifting battlefield conditions. Unlike systems that rely solely on satellite feeds, the pod allows for immediate visual searches and discrimination between legitimate threats and decoys. Pilots can track vehicle exhaust, detect heat from underground bunkers, and distinguish between genuine activity and false signals. This flexibility is critical when enemy teams attempt to mask their operations with decoy heat sources or by blending into civilian infrastructure. Precision is not just a technical advantage, it is an operational necessity. The lightning pod's ability to differentiate between idling engines and decoys ensures that only verified targets are engaged, reducing the risk of collateral damage. In urban areas, the A-10 can also perform show-of-force passes, low, loud flyovers that send operators scrambling without a shot fired. When a strike is required, the pod's data guides precision munitions, confining the effects to the intended target and minimizing unintended harm. This capability is especially important in densely populated or politically sensitive regions, where every engagement is scrutinized and the margin for error is minimal. Night and adverse weather do not limit the pod's effectiveness. The FLIR sensors operate at full capacity in darkness, and the system's performance remains consistent through fog, rain, or dust. Pilots maintain a persistent presence over the battlefield, able to identify, track, and engage targets regardless of environmental conditions. This continuous coverage denies enemy teams the ability to exploit nightfall or poor visibility as a shield. The Lightning Pod also enhances coordination with other aircraft and ground forces. Once a target is confirmed, the pod allows the A-10 to share precise location data with supporting units, streamlining joint operations and accelerating the timeline from detection to engagement. This integration reduces the window in which mobile launchers can escape, increasing the likelihood of mission success. The combination of advanced sensors, real-time adaptability, and precise targeting has made the Lightning Pod a pivotal asset in recent operations. Its role in neutralizing mobile missile threats demonstrates the value of integrating cutting-edge technology with proven airframes. Yet even with these capabilities, A-10 operating in contested airspace face persistent challenges from enemy air defenses. Overcoming these threats requires a coordinated approach where electronic warfare assets provide the necessary protection for close air support missions to succeed. The combined power of air dominance is not just about firepower, it's about creating the conditions where precision strikes can happen without interference. The EA-18G Growler, operating from the deck of the USS Eisenhower, plays a pivotal role in this equation. While the A-10 Warthog is built for close air support and destruction of ground targets, the Growler's mission is to ensure that no enemy radar can threaten friendly aircraft during these operations. Together, they form a coordinated strategy that secures airspace and enables effective attacks on mobile threats. The Growler's primary task is the suppression of enemy air defenses, or SEAD. Its goal is to neutralize radar tracking systems and integrated air defense networks, which are often embedded deep within hostile territory. These networks, typically composed of legacy Soviet and Iranian radar systems, are widely used by Houthi forces. Despite their age, these radars still present a significant threat to low-flying aircraft like the A-10, guiding surface-to-air missiles and alerting defenders to incoming strikes. Without electronic warfare support, the A-10 would face unacceptable risk in these contested zones. Growlers from the USS Eisenhower employ the next-generation jammer, a system that emits focused mid-band bursts to blind legacy radars, shutting down Houthi detection networks. In a recent operation, Growlers arrived on station and shot out concentrated jamming, knocking out 3 radar installations within 15 minutes. This rapid action immediately disrupted enemy air defenses, leaving anti-air batteries unable to track or engage incoming aircraft. With detection networks blinded, the A-10s could move in, using their lightning pods to search for concealed missile launchers and carry out their attacks with minimal risk. The precision of the Growler's jamming is a significant advancement over previous electronic warfare tactics. Instead of broad, unfocused disruption, the Growler relies on a comprehensive mission library of adversary radar signatures. This allows its crew to identify, target, and suppress specific systems quickly and efficiently. When these radars go offline, the entire air defense network can be rendered ineffective, creating a window of opportunity for strike aircraft. For Houthi missile teams, often supported by Iranian advisors and advanced communications, the loss of radar coverage means their mobility and ability to coordinate are severely diminished. This partnership between the Growler and the A-10 is more than just tactical support. It is a force multiplier. The Growler's electronic warfare creates the safe corridors that the A-10 needs to operate effectively. With defenses darkened by Growlers, Warthogs can unleash their BRT runs without fear. a force multiplier proven in recent operations. The result is an environment where A-10 pilots can focus on identifying and destroying targets, confident that the threat of enemy missiles and anti-aircraft fire has been drastically reduced. Legacy Soviet and Iranian radar systems, while lacking the sophistication of modern Western technology, have been upgraded over the years to provide asymmetric forces like the Houthis with credible defensive capabilities. However, these older systems are particularly vulnerable to the focus jamming of the Growler. By exploiting these weaknesses, the Growler neutralizes threats with precision, allowing the A-10 to operate in airspace that would otherwise be too dangerous for close air support missions. The impact of this combined approach is clear. Since the introduction of coordinated Growler and A-10 operations, hostile anti-air activity has declined in areas previously considered high risk. Houthi missile launches have dropped, and maritime routes near Yemen have become more secure as mobile threats are systematically targeted and destroyed. The ability to control the electromagnetic spectrum, paired with the capacity to deliver precise ground attacks, has shifted the balance in favor of coalition forces. This evolution in air dominance demonstrates how electronic warfare and close air support now operate hand in hand. The Growler's suppression of enemy radar clears the way for the A-10's precision strikes, ensuring that even the most elusive threats can be neutralized. As these operations continue, the effectiveness of this combined strategy becomes a defining feature of modern air campaigns. The results speak for themselves. With missile activity reduced and airspace secured, the stage is set for a broader discussion about the enduring role of the A-10 Warthog in contemporary conflicts. A 70% reduction in Houthi missile launches underscores the impact of the A-10 Warthog's recent operations. From April 2nd to 17th, A-10s flew 218 sorties, destroying 47 missile systems and neutralizing 9 senior commanders. By combining its GAU-8 cannon with advanced targeting, the Warthog has systematically dismantled mobile threats that once dominated contested zones. Despite plans to retire the fleet by 2029, these results have prompted military leaders to push for extended deployments. With proven results and commanders pleading for its stay, the question isn't if the Warthog should retire, but when our adversaries will see it incoming next.